Hello everybody, my name is Niw. So like a lot of 90s babies, I've always been a really huge fan of Sailor Moon. A couple of years ago, we made a trip to Tokyo and my friend bought me these adorable Sailor Moon charms for my birthday. They had metal chains so you could connect them to your phone or your keychain or something, but I never had the heart to use them like that because I was worried about damaging them or losing them. I've always wanted to use them to make some sort of Sailor Moon accessory, like a necklace. I've had this pile of scrap felt sitting around in my apartment for years, so I am going to use that. Something I've discovered about myself recently is I really don't like making crochet tutorials. I love crocheting so much, but I find it really difficult to record what I'm doing when I'm crocheting. So what I've done on the edge of this felt piece is crochet a virus stitch, and I guess if people really want to see that, I guess I could make a video, but there are some really good videos on YouTube already teaching the virus stitch. I chose this shape for the necklace because I thought it would look really cool under a collar, like a bib. Now my idea with using the felt was to make something like miniature plushies essentially. So I traced the shape and now I'm just sketching out sort of an idea of what sort of little miniature plush toys I want to make to go onto my necklace. Sailor Moon is like very much about, you know, clouds and stars and moons and those sort of imagery. So I wanted to carry that across with my design. Once I was happy with the shapes, I cut them out and then I traced them onto felt. Now, each piece I need to cut out twice because I'm going to sew them together to create the plushie. So you need a front side and a back side. I didn't actually have any yellow felt, so I took these fabric markers and just colored in the white felt. So that's how I worked around not having the correct color felt. These fabric markers are super cheap. I got a set of just like a bunch of them for a really low price, so they're really handy. Maybe I should have sold this from the beginning of the video, but I don't think I actually bought any of the stuff that I used on this project. It was just sort of stuff that I had lying around in my like stash of craft supplies or leftover stuff from previous projects. I realized that I have like a lot of stuff lying around in my apartment that most people probably don't have, but I guess the spirit of the project is just using things that you do have in your house or things that you can very easily and cheaply get your hands on to make something fun or creative or interesting. So, you know, I challenge anybody watching to give that a go. I have this huge container of embroidery floss, so I just picked out a couple of colors that either like contrasted well or matched the felt, and I'm just doing like a running stitch, I don't know, just like plop in, plop out. really easy. It doesn't have to be too crazy because the felt is quite thick, so as long as it's attached at a few points, it won't let the fluff spill out when we insert that later. There's a period of my life where I had about 3,000 cushions and pillows on my bed, and I also have 3 cats, and it just became way too much, way too many pillows and cats fighting for real estate. So I got rid of, well, I didn't get rid of, I like unstuffed a lot of my pillows, but I kept a lot of the fiber so that I could use them for various projects, and it's come in handy because I have used them, or I used the fluff to stuff little plush toys that I've crocheted, and you know, just a bunch of different things. After my little plush cloud was as stuffed as I wanted it, I just finished sewing it off and tied off. Finished sewing it up and tied off. Then of course you just repeat the same thing with the rest of your little mini plushies. The stars were super tedious, but I'm beginning to think that my superpower is coming up with more and more tedious ways to do crafts. So I really want to take this method and apply it to different accessories and ideas and, you know, like fandoms, I guess. But I think the trick to it is to just kind of lay down everything that you have on the table and just arrange it until you're happy with how it looks before you start attaching anything, which is, you know, the truth for most things that we do when we're creating art or accessories or whatever. In my case, I decided that I wanted all of the little transformation brooches and charms to be hanging off the cloud, almost like it's raining them, or I don't know. I just thought it looked cute, and it was the most cohesive way that I could apply all of these kind of gaudy but cute little intense charms, you know? I feel like I should mention the obvious route to go with this would have been to make like a charm bracelet or attach these to a gold chain and just make like a necklace with charms on it. But, you know, I just feel like they look like little toys, and to make the most sort of, or, you know, to make the most of that quality, I really wanted to insert them into this environment where it just looked like intentional, I guess. It's hard to explain. I guess I've kind of been giving you the story about where all these little bits and bobs in my collection came from. So the pearls Malice got me for Christmas, the little glass beads I bought when I was sewing and hand beading a 1920s inspired dress for my friend for New Year's Eve 2020. I've never actually been a huge fan of hot glue, and I've only recently started using it quite a lot, mainly because I'm working on a project that is currently only being held together by like pure strength of will and 3000 hot glue sticks. But I'm coming around to it. It's definitely a lot faster and easier. I think in the past I would have probably used clear thread just to like sew all of these items on, but felt sticks to felt really well using hot glue. So it's definitely easier to do that. So I'm trying to let go of my reservations when it comes to hot glue. I bought this tartan clutch purse many years ago, and so this gold chain was actually the chain that came with the bag. Because it's got these big round links, it just constantly rolled off my shoulder. It was the most irritating accessory, and so I'm repurposing it as the chain to go with this, just because I think like the big round gold gaudiness of it really matches. So I'm using some invisible thread to sew the chain links on, and then I'm going over it with some hot glue just to stop the thread from sliding between the little gap in the chain links. You know, I've been burned with that many times in the past, so I'm just being careful. On the back of my felt creation, I'm gluing some wire, which I'm then going to cover with felt later on, just to keep it neat. And the purpose of the wire is to stop the soft fabric of the felt from like buckling now that you have this big heavy chain on it. And now for my favorite time of the video, I'm going to send you over to Zell, who we dressed up. We had a lot of fun dressing up vaguely Sailor Moon-y for this. So enjoy the reveal shots. So I really like the idea of making these toy necklaces, and it's something that I really want to revisit in the future because I'm not entirely sold on this iteration of it. I think it's very cute, but I think I can do better. So stay tuned, and you might see more of this on the channel in the future. But yeah, I think it did come out really, really cute, and I kind of accomplished what I set out to by using just stuff that I had already in my stash, you know, not spending any money buying new stuff. And, you know, it came out pretty cute, so I'm pretty stoked. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed and you're interested in this kind of content, that would mean the world to us if you could maybe try that subscribing, liking, sharing with your friends, doing all that fun stuff. We really want to grow a community and we're excited to show you new stuff. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a fantastic week. Bye bye.
COVID. Staying safe from COVID with Sailor Moon. Wear your mask.